What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here, bringing you your MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show for the Wednesday 5-game early slate. We're taking a look here over on DraftKings. We have a 7-game main slate. We have 5 games starting at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time, which includes the Angels and Yankees game. That game still may find itself in jeopardy as rain works its way up the East Coast. That game was postponed on Tuesday. We have the expectations that those two starters, Davis Daniel and Louis Hill, will be the starters for this 4 p.m. game. But again, we'll have to wait and find out weather-wise. And DraftKings doesn't yet have an official starting pitching matchup for that game. So you'll just see all of their starting pitchers and relief pitchers listed in the player pool, which isn't always exactly the greatest of experiences. But overall, 5 games here. We'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to break down the 7-game main slate. So make sure you check back in here for that. We appreciate you all tuning in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, a free way to support the work we do here over at Fantasy Alarm. Taking a look at this pitching matchup, your top price starting pitchers, Joe Ryan on the road against the Chicago Cubs at $10,300. Yusei Kikuchi making his second start for the Houston Astros here, going up against the Texas Rangers at $9,200. We have Brandon Pfaadt on the road against Cleveland at $8,400. Ben Lively at $7,600 against Arizona. The other side of that matchup, Joey Estes at $7,200 against the White Sox. Javier Saad going up against the Minnesota Twins. Jose Urena facing the Houston Astros, and Martin here against Oakland. And like I said, Louis Hill and Davis Daniel likely the two starters for that Yankees matchup should it go off. If we're looking at matchups, I would certainly go right back to the well with Louis Hill, assuming that game is the one that he starts in that game, ends up being played. It's an elite matchup and an elite price point at $8,900 for him. Really starting to pitch well of late as well. And also we know the Angels as an offense struggling, a matchup that we can certainly see him look to take advantage of. I don't really want to pen 10-3 for Joe Ryan. I think people will go here. He's been fine. Strikeouts have been fine. But he is giving up hits. He is getting hit. He's giving up runs. He's allowing home runs. So I do worry about him paying off a $10,300 price tag on a 5-game slate. Yusei Kikuchi looked good in his debut, 11 Ks against Tampa Bay. I'm not going to run him out there against Texas. I know Framber Valdez had a no-hitter going late into that game against Texas on Tuesday, but again, I don't expect Kikuchi to have similar success to Framber Valdez did. Brandon Pfaadt against Cleveland. I like Pfaadt. His peripheral numbers are a lot better than what his actual numbers have been this year, but Cleveland themselves are an offense, a lot of lefties in that lineup. I do have a bit of a concern there for Pfaadt at $8,400. Believe it or not, I don't mind Joey Estes here going up against the White Sox. The White Sox finally got a win. They snapped their 20-game losing streak here, but Oakland's going to be a favorite. Estes is $7,200 against the White Sox, coming off of a solid start against the Dodgers here. 23 fantasy points in that matchup. $7,200 for Joey Estes. I think he's going to be a core part of many lineups. Not as interested in Javier Assad. Just doesn't really always pitch too deep into games. Not going to go Urena. And Davis Martin here, also not someone I'm looking to pitch. So for me, 5-game slate, we'll kind of build a lineup as we go. And I'm going to assume it's Louis Hill in the lineup. I'm going to go with Louis Hill, and I'm going to go with Joey Estes as my 2 starting pitchers here. If it ends up not being Louis Hill, well, then I'd give more consideration to Joe Ryan. Again, just not too high on sort of the other pitching matchups on this slate in particular. There is a chance maybe Nestor Cortez could start in this game. I see over on Fangraphs, they have him listed as a starter for the night game. If they decide to flip that around and have Nestor Cortez start the afternoon game, then I would certainly have some interest in Cortez at home against the Angels for sure. Either way, I think the Yankees starters where I'd be looking to go. At the catcher position, a little bit more clarity here. Jose Urena, I'm fine spending up $4,400 for Yandy or Diaz. I certainly like that matchup a lot for him there. Jonah Heim against Kikuchi at $2,900 works for me as well. And then again, depending on who's in and out of the lineup, could go Christian Vasquez at $2,800. Bo Naylor at $2,400 could play as well. Again, catcher on a small slate, kind of just look for the best possible matchup, the value that you can find at the position. First base, Josh Naylor is your top price guy at $4,800. Isaac Paredes homered on Tuesday. Not really looking for him against Joe Ryan. I don't mind Ben Rice here if it's against Daniels. Again, a lot of power for Rice, 200 ISO on the year for him, $4,400. Miranda hits righties better than lefties. Javier Assad, $4,200 for Jose Miranda. Certainly a guy that I would be looking to get into some lineups. And then we also have Josh Bell, $3,600 going to hit from the left side against Ben Lively. So those are some of the, I think, options I'd be looking at first base here today. Naylor, Rice, Miranda, and Bell if I'm building a lineup out. At second base, Ketel Marte, Jose Altuve, your top two price guys. Very easy to plug either of those guys. Marte has been fantastic this season. If you want to jump down into the value tier, let's see. There's really not a ton of value that I would probably look at. Toro, I guess, or Geloff if they were in the lineup. I think you could maybe give a peek to, but I might be spending up at second. Semien at 45 is a good price. You're getting a short slate discount on Semien, so you could go there if you need the money. At third base, Jose Ramirez and Royce Lewis. Royce Lewis homered again on Tuesday. $5,400 for sure would be a core play of mine. You can play Miranda over here. But you have Josh Jung. Last year, hammered left-handed pitching, $4,000. Going to be one of my favorite plays of the slate. Probably going to find his way into my lineup here today against Yusei Kikuchi. Over at shortstop, again, a smaller slate, Corey Seager, lefty, but he homered off Framber to break up that no-hitter. So certainly not afraid of Seager against Kikuchi at $5,300. Volpe at 37 is a great value play here. He's been on fire of late, stealing some bags, hitting for some power. If you're going to look to spend up at other positions, Volpe makes a ton of sense at $3,700. And that would probably be where I would go for some value if I'm not going to spend up for someone like Seager here on the slate. At outfield, again, Judge and Soto, assuming it's Daniels, both of those guys would be core plays. Rooker versus Martin, $5,700. Jordan versus Urania. It really can go anywhere here, but the top four for sure, core plays for me. Quan against Fott at 49 is fine. Jock Peterson against Lively, he homered the other day. I like that at $4,500. Stanton with some power at 45 can go there for sure. Let's see. What else do we got down here? Wyatt Langford, $3,900. Kepler, $39. Wallner, definitely been on the heater against Assad, $3,800 for him. Lawrence Butler, down to $3,800. I like that price tag. So a lot of good value I'm finding here in the outfield as well. So a lot of areas that we can look to target. Let's kind of get a quick lineup together. Again, this is just for the 5-game early slate. We'll be back live, myself and either James Grande or Henry Wilson at 5 p.m. Eastern time to break down that 7-game slate. And again, for the sake of current conversations, we're going to assume the Yankees game is in. If it is out, we'd probably go in some different directions, maybe stacking Houston, stacking Oakland, and Minnesota here outside of the Yankees. But at the catcher position, let's see, what are we going to do at catcher? I kind of want to do some value. Let's go at Heim. First base. I like Bell here. Second base, didn't really have a lot of value. Let's go Kikuchi and Young. So we'll do a little stack there. Shortstop. Let's go Volpe. And I guess it's 5K a play. So we have some spots here that we can spend up for. Let's see if we can get one value play. Let's go Wyatt. Let's go Wallner. 57. So Wallner. It says Rooker and Jordan. There you go. Gil, Estes, Heim, Bell, Semien, Young, Volpe, Wallner, Rooker, Jordan. 3 power hitters in the outfield. A little Texas stack. I had to go about with it. $100 left over. So example lineup for everybody here. Again, if you have any questions, get us in the Discord. Find us on Twitter. And we'll be back live at 5 p.m. Eastern time for that 7 p.m. main slate. Until then, everybody, we'll catch you later.